about 12 years, I think. And then I joined Guitar Tuition in East London in, well, it was about 4 months ago now. And I've been learning with Daryl since then. My playing before I took lessons with Guitar Tuition East London was, it was like it was stuck in a box, and that box was going online, finding a guitar tab, spending half an hour learning it, and then playing it back, and then all I could do was play these certain guitar tabs. I didn't actually understand the guitar, or I couldn't improvise something from a song that was already there. I didn't know what key I was in. I didn't have really a method of self-expression, and that's what I felt like I was really lacking. I didn't know my way around the guitar at all. Since I started taking lessons, things have got better in the sense that I can now, it's basically just unlock the fretboard. That's the main thing, is that I can, one of the things that really showed for me is that I just went home and put on a Pink Floyd record, and I was just able to recognise what key it was in because I'd done that work with Daryl, and just solo over the top of it. And you know, my mum came down and sort of, she thought that it was just all Pink Floyd, but I was sort of soloing over the top, and she had no idea until she saw me with a guitar in my hand. And yeah, it was nice to be able to understand the guitar enough to then yeah, work on some of my favourite music. So yeah, it was good. The only other thing that's been particularly useful is going into music theory a bit. It's always been brought up only when it's really necessary. You don't feel like you're just learning scales for the sake of learning scales. You're learning scales so that next time you come into a jam session, you've just got more freedom to sort of express yourself in that situation. And so everything is very results oriented. So I always feel like every lesson I come to, I'm a little bit closer to achieving that goal of improvising a solo myself and just being able to pick up a guitar, play over the top of something, and really enjoy it and make something that sounds pretty good. The best things I've learned since I started taking lessons have been mainly sort of going through the scales in quite an applicable way, and knowing that sort of every time I learn a new scale and then get to go and apply it in a jam session or something. And one of the particular things is sort of getting me to branch into some iPad programs like Earmaster and other methods of learning. It's not just sort of picking up a guitar. It's also, it's kind of like a holistic approach where you think about, you need to train your ear and thinking about how you hear notes, and that sort of allowed me to then say listen to a record and then work out what key it's in, work out what the melody is, kind of work out what notes tend to fit in it, and then I can play a solo which matches it over the top. And that's been probably the most interesting thing, is learning how to sort of take something and play over the top of it. Being with Guitar Tuition East London has meant that when I am practicing at home and outside of lessons, there's like a helpful structure to it. I don't get 10 minutes into a practice session and think, what am I going to do now? I can just pull out another sheet and go, okay, I'm going to practice my power chords, and I'm going to practice my strumming, and I know that I can go to an individual little lesson, and it just takes out that feeling of, oh, what am I going to do now to improve? And that allows you to have a constant sense of this momentum building towards the results you want. I feel like there's now a structure on my practice, and it actually means that I probably I can do less practice but get more out of it, especially when I consider what I was doing before I started with lessons. I was playing a lot of guitar but not actually making much progress. I continue to invest in lessons because I just realised that although I've made a lot of progress, there's still a lot that I want to improve on and keep working on. And I've seen how much progress I've made already, and it doesn't feel like that rate of progress is slowing down in any way. I feel like every week I'm learning something new and in some way becoming a better guitarist. So in no way do I think that progress has sort of plateaued or will anytime soon. So that's sort of why I'm continuing to invest in lessons. I'm still getting a lot out of it. I'd recommend lessons to someone else because it just means that you're less likely to be wasting your time. I mean, you could sit in a bedroom with a guitar and, you know, play the same four riffs or whatever that you've learned from YouTube videos. You can do that for weeks and not really learn much. Or you can come to lessons and within 2 weeks you can be jamming with another person playing the rhythm section, and you're playing something over the top that just really fits. And yeah, so I'd recommend it just if you actually want to make some progress, and also enjoy your guitar playing, because to enjoy it you can't really feel trapped in a position of not knowing where to go on the guitar. It's much more fun when you understand what you're doing, because then you have more freedom and room to sort of do what you want, and kind of get different feelings or sounds out of the guitar. It's really great when you can kind of manipulate it in that way. So I think lessons would really do that for you.